Hello everyone, this is the anime Oregairu, and this is our main character, Hikigaya Hachiman. And the reason I bring this up, usually I don't care too much about reviewing anime, but this anime, as you can see, gets reviewed, and they all say the same thing. Hachiman here is looking for a genuine relationship. That's what they say. They are wrong. What this anime is about is female acceptance. It's a harem anime. That's what it's about. Harem anime is about female acceptance. That's why in harems, the guys either are background characters, they're periphery, or they don't even exist in some harems. And that's the fantasy. And these guys want to try and leave this out. Maybe there are characters in Oregairu who are looking for genuine relationships, but it's not him. He represents the average guy watching. And the average guy isn't looking for a genuine relationship. He's looking for female acceptance. Everyone's waiting for this guy to get together with a girl, okay?
Point where he sacrifices his reputation, feelings, and personal well-being to assist them, suffering humiliation after humiliation to help people. He is such a kind soul, and he is like a deer in the headlights when it comes to...
Okay, so this main guy, Hikigaya, is such a kind soul. So he starts off as a kind soul, and he ends off as a kind soul. Where is the character arc that these guys talk about? Where is it? There is no character arc. Hikigaya has been rejected by boys and girls alike, right? So he doesn't really have a character arc. All he has is female validation to finally allow him to be accepted. Okay?
He deserves this help. But this state of affairs is interrupted by two young women who have grown to care for him.
That's right, two young women who have grown to care for him. These two women are the only other members of the service club that Hikigaya was forced to join. You know, he was forced to join by a beautiful young teacher, a female teacher. So right off the bat, some female has come along and grabbed him by the hand and put him with two more females to accept him. That's what this anime is about, Oregairu fans. Which is fine by me, but you don't ever mention that. You don't admit it, that this was about. If it's about genuine relationships, how come there are no guys? You can't have a genuine relationship with a guy. Well, you can, but you can't have a romantic one, can you? Not if you're a straight guy. And this is what this is all about. This woman, young lady here, I'm trying to remember, Yukonon, she's the one who's slated for him, and we all know it. Every harem anime, there's an unspoken rule. The first girl is the girl that he meets, is the girl that is slated for him. And everyone's waiting. In this case, there's a third season for him to get together with her. Got it? And here is the scene, right? Where he says, I'm looking for something genuine. In other words, after all the rejection this good guy has gone through, that he has decided to become a loner to protect himself, he is going to finally do the exact same thing he's been all along. All that long, Hikigaya has been putting himself out there and been rejected. And this has not changed. He's doing it again. He is the one, guys, who has to put out the olive branch, right? Right? So the question is, why? If this anime was about some kind of progress, then the girls he's talking to they would be the ones to put out the olive branch. Now, if you watch this anime, you're not going to see these girls put the olive branch out. Maybe, I haven't seen the end of the third season, I just started, but I've seen the other two. None of these girls during the first two seasons do that. What it does is she abuses him verbally and he takes it. That's the comedy of Oregairu. I didn't realize it was classified as a comedy when I first started watching it. And when I saw it, I was quite surprised. And this girl has put out her feelers, but she hasn't put herself up there. These girls actually have nothing to lose, really, by showing their true feelings to this guy. They don't. You know, but this girl here, Yui, like I say, she puts out her feelers, but there's never a time that she comes right out and say, I like you, I'm going to date you, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. Because all you guys who love this show, you know this is plausible deniability from girls. They want the guy to do the risking. They're not going to go out and say something where, okay, now I'm out there. I want to be put at risk. Even though they don't have to lose, they have nothing to lose by comparison to Hachiman. And yet they still refuse to even take that little bit of a risk. You know, because Hachiman, through the first season, when this young lady shows up and starts coming on to him, he knows he can't just, his experience have told him he can't just be nice, you know, accept the olive branch, because the olive branch could have a snake in it. She could turn around and say, aha, you're such a sucker. I was kidding you. We really thought that. That's been his experiences. These girls, if they were really cared about this guy, they would turn around and they would commit themselves in the way that he did in that scene. And he's even lying to himself. These guys who say he's finally getting over it, he's lying. He doesn't want a genuine relationship. He wants a girlfriend to validate his existence. That's why he doesn't try for a genuine relationship with a guy. Okay? And this anime, it's like, it's essentially when he becomes a loner and puts on the mask of a loner, it's the same as someone wanting to buy ice cream and they realize there's no money in their pocket, so they say, I don't like ice cream. I never did. And then they find $10 on the sidewalk and then they can buy it and they go, oh, wait, I admit it. I want to genuinely admit that I like ice cream. I'm going to buy some now. See, that is not a character arc, Oregairu fans. This is a man-up anime. He had to be the one, after all this rejection, he is the one who had to open up to these girls. They did not do it to him. Like I say, if the third season comes along and they change, maybe you could say that. But let's face it. This, by the way, anime, I noticed it's actually degrading in the way that this anime, how it chooses, the fantasy to inject and the reality to inject. So they inject the fantasy that these top-notch girls are going to go after this guy and find feelings for him after he's been rejected so much that he has zero status. That's the fantasy they're injecting, right? But they're also keeping the reality that these girls will never do anything but flirt and put feelers out. They keep that reality into it. If this is the way, if this is the direction that harem anime is going, I want no part of it. Is the old school harem would have these girls falling all over them and saying, I love you. They would inject that fantasy that makes guys feel good. But the only fantasy they're injecting in here now is the lie that these top-notch girls are going to bother with this guy. You see, unpopularity breeds unpopularity. Hikigaya here is no status, and that's what the girls are attracted to. And if you have no status, they find you creepy. Matter of fact, these girls, Yukonon, the one that's slated for him, she's called him creepy. She said one version, I know it's English translated, but she says, that's very naive, that's creepy. How is being naive creepy? I'll tell you what it is, because it's not about naivety. A low status guy has said something, and whatever he says is creepy. None of these, they don't inject that truth, do they? That these girls are about finding people with status and hooking up with people with status. And when they say it's creepy, it means you're low status, and I wish you didn't exist. You're grossing me out. See, they don't inject that reality. So it's what they inject, what part of fantasy that they inject that is very insulting. This is a dead-end anime. I don't know if I'll bother watching the third season. But this anime is garbage. And that's my review of it. Thank you.